Hey, hi everyone. So today I am with Mr. Neelabh Singh and we are going to talk about very random things. But before we start doing that, I want to ask who are you, Mr. Neelabh Singh, and why should people listen to you?
I'm just a normal guy like everyone else.
Okay.
And I believe that every person has some unique experiences which can
Okay.
help others with their journey.
Okay. So you feel that your unique experiences can help other people.
Yes, anybody can help anyone. But the problem is people don't share.
ओके
And yeah.
दैट्स एक्चुअली ट्रू लाइक आजकल के टाइम में लोग अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर नहीं करते हैं बहुत इजीली so we'll try to see that what are your learnings or what are the few things that you think that that can help others. So we'll start with a very basic thing today. So I want to ask you, what do you think about the Indian educational system? मतलब when हम जब ग्रो अप कर रहे थे तो एक सीबीएसई बोर्ड, एक यूपी बोर्ड, एक आईसीएसई होता था. आज की डेट में देयर आर लाइक इंटरनेशनल बोर्ड्स आल्सो, मतलब देयर इज दिस ओल्ड फैशन ऑफ सेंडिंग like children to the international boards and all. So what do you think about जो education schools में मिल रहा है? Is it good or what is it lacking or where can we do better?
So before we go into this question, we must first understand the meaning of the word education.
Hmm.
And do we really need it? And if we need it, what kind of education do we need?
Okay.
So as you refer to our Indian education system, let's just call it the holistic education system
Hmm.
because they are just the same.
Hmm.
So without segregating them into different boards and everything,
Hmm.
what they do is they don't make us learn.
Okay.
The meaning of the word education is to learn,
Hmm.
and our mind is already equipped with that faculty. The moment
Hmm.
we are born, our mind keeps continuously learning till the time we are dead. So
Okay.
why first we must ask, do we really need others to
Okay.
teach us about life, about certain things? There are certain things which we need to learn, like communication,
Hmm.
and which are helpful in our day-to-day life functioning. But holistically, do we need education or not? So
Hmm.
even as you are the part of our education system, you must have seen that it contains a certain element of violence. Like if yes, violence in the sense not physical or like not like that, but we are forced to do things. We are forced to remember things, and then we are judged based on a journalistic exam system.
Okay.
So what I see is that it is just made to make everyone alike.
Okay.
Our system is, yeah, it just wants to produce robots which follow
Okay.
commands. Yeah, and it is integrated with our society.
Hmm.
From a very young age, we are taught to conform, to listen to others, so
Hmm.
that there is less randomness in our actions.
Hmm.
The lesser the randomness, the better society can function.
But one question there, like before you can continue, when you said something that we are all made to learn and we are trying to make similar, like the education system is trying to make all of us similar. But
Yes.
if there will be no exams, so and this is not just for schools, like in any point in life, you see that for doing any kind of degree or even getting a job, you need to do certain kind of interviews with your peers to see where you stand. So if that doesn't happen, so how will we know that who's the right person for any right candidate for a job, or who is doing well in terms of learning the basic things like even communication or anything? So how will that be determined?
For that, we can just look at nature.
Okay.
Nature. In nature, there's a thing called evolution.
Okay.
Everything evolves by its own,
Okay.
by its own learning. Its
Hmm.
memories, its learnings are stored in their DNA, and they just keep on evolving without any external interference.
Okay.
That is an unnatural process which we as humans have
Hmm.
integrated into our society.
Okay.
And the second thing which you asked was, how will we judge if a person is good at something or not?
Hmm.
Exams are not for judgment, they are for filtering out.
Okay.
It filters out people who cannot do certain set of things with the society wants.
Okay.
They Society treats people as cogs in wheels.
Hmm.
It fits them into various pieces as per its requirement, and it
Okay.
filters them out similarly.
Hmm. But like you're saying ki it is something that is created by society, there is another notion, right? Ki sustain a life, a human being has basic necessities, roti kapda makan, like we say in Hindi, right? So अगर एजुकेशन में ही नहीं लिया, मतलब if we are not putting ourselves in that race, so how will we sustain ourselves? Like,
Yes.
imagine a situation where there's a person jiska matlab there's no family to support or something. How will that person sustain in today's world? Because रहना तो society के साथ ही है.
Yes. For that, I think what you are pertaining to is it comes down to money. We have
Okay.
linked money to jobs. We only think that by doing jobs we can get money in anything. But if you see in every field, there are people who achieve excellence, creativity in sports, which are not jobs, and they don't treat what they are doing like a job. And they are the only people who succeed, who go to the very top. And for them, money becomes irrelevant. So it comes down to exposure. If you expose kids at a very young age to all the fields which they can work in, then I believe that the human mind is so capable, it will take over. And
I kind of get the point that what you're saying, that the famous people that we see, be it the businessmen like who have excelled in their lives, or the movie stars or the sportsmen. So these, like especially the movie stars and the sportsmen, these are the people who end up earning the most, and these things are not taught in a school. But again, like one question that I'll have in my mind for that would be, if you're talking about a young child, and if you're talking about exposing them to so many things at once, maybe the school system or the curriculum that was designed, that we are following, is to ensure that whatever their mind can take, and then they can develop or work on those skills after school hours or something like that. What do you think about that?
the problem with that is that uh, the brain grows very fast between the age of 2 to 6.
Okay.
And if we wait after the child is 10 or 12, and then we expose them to different things, they are already conditioned.
Okay.
They get closed. Yeah. So they won't be taking in the things we provide them. Their mind becomes closed,
Okay.
mechanical.
So you're saying that it's much better to expose the children at the younger age with as different things as possible. That also reminds me about something that I saw somewhere, that any child below the age of 5 has the capability of learning up to 6 to 7 languages.
Yes.
Which, as we keep growing up, even learning one additional language seems like a very big challenge to us. So I get that point. And how about the importance of reading books? When I say reading books, I'm not talking about the curriculum or the things or your maths ka book or geography ka book, right? What do you think is the role of the books around for the development of a child in this perspective?
So it comes down to what you want to take out of a book. Like,
Okay.
as you mentioned, the curriculum books, never you got a relationship with them. Our only relationship with them was to we have to learn certain things, pass an exam, and move on. So from a young age, we don't know how to form a relationship with a book. There are many books, like there have been many people before who have shared their experiences, like we talked about in the beginning. But what you want out of the book depends upon you. If you read it with a goal, after reading, I will become this, and this, then it won't help you.
Okay.
But if you read it with an open mind, with objectivity, you can learn how to learn.
Okay.
The best art in life is learning how to learn. You only need to know that.
Can you speak a little bit more about learning how to learn for all of us?
Yes, learning, we have linked learning with certain goals like marks, job, everything in society is basically linked to something. When we grow up, it's linked to money, your status, everything. So whenever we learn with an objective. Learning without an objective
Okay.
is actual learning.
Okay.
Then you become open to everything simultaneously.
Okay.
Because you don't have an objective after doing this, I will reach there. I will become this, I will become that. That is an open mind.
And do you think that is only for children, or like anyone can change their approach towards life at any time?
Anyone can change it at any point in their time.
It's
So
just
that
easier for the children. You're saying that.
it's just very easy for children. Why expose them to things which they have to unlearn after they turn 30 or 40?
Mm-hmm.
Don't put them in the first place.
Okay, that's great. I know for a fact that you have a dream of having your own school one day, right? So I want to speak about that. That what education should be according to you. What would a day look like in that school? And how you think that the changes that you're thinking about can impact the children when it comes to education.
Yes. So for me, it's basically exposing them to two things. One is language,
Hmm.
and other are the things which are career related, which they can go on, learn, and
Hmm.
pursue later.
Okay.
In language, I certainly believe that every child should know at least minimum of four languages,
Okay.
because the more you learn,
Hmm.
the better your brain gets at learning to learn at a
Okay.
young age.
Okay.
That combined with exposure to various fields,
Hmm.
art, literature, sports,
Hmm.
and monitoring them. If we, it's like an experiment. You put a group of children, you expose them to something. Like suppose a class is going on, we are sho- showing them about sports.
Okay.
You don't tell them anything. You just let them take that in, and
Okay.
by seeing their reaction,
Hmm.
by just observing their reaction, you can clearly see which child is getting attracted to that.
Okay.
And this combined over a period of time, you can clearly see which child is oriented to which field, and
Okay.
then just holding their hands along the path, not to push
But
something over them. Yeah.
yeah, got your point. But then, what is like if you're saying the kind of school or the kind of education you're, visioning for the children, but that doesn't mean that all the jobs that are there, like all the people who are working in companies, that's not going to go anywhere, right? Not everyone can become a movie star, or not everyone can become a sports person who's successful as well, right? So, by doing this, also, it's just like now today we have a like imbalance. You say that 90% of the people are doing working like robots, and then there are 10% who is leading the work, who are in creative field or who are running their own businesses for that matter. But usko balance ko if we we try to change, don't you think that's also going to impact a lot of things?
It depends. If you take the definition of success from the society,
Hmm.
it's just defined that you
Hmm.
must have this, and then you are successful. But there's another definition, a true definition, which lies within you,
Okay.
and that comes from fulfillment. Whatever you are doing,
Hmm.
if you are getting a sense of fulfillment from it, you are successful.
Hmm.
Even if you don't excel in your field.
But it's I got that, but again, if my fulfillment, like I am very happy doing this, for example, I'm very happy running a couple of podcasts, but is it giving me money? It's not. So matlab, that question will always be back in the mind of any person, because for anything, like for your food, shelter, anything, you require money. So how is that going to be solved, like with the vision that you're having?
For that, also, you must first define your relationship with money.
Okay.
What is your relationship with money?
Okay.
So, if you see, we can compare money to oxygen. Like in the
Hmm.
environment, without oxygen, we cannot survive. And in this artificial environment, which we call society, money is
Okay.
the oxygen. You need it.
Hmm.
For needing it, either you can do job,
Hmm.
pursue your career simultaneously. So
Hmm.
that comes down to your relationship with money, how you treat money. If you just treat it as oxygen, you can do menial things,
Hmm.
survive, and yet pursue your passion.
Okay.
But if you make money the topmost thing in life,
Hmm.
your whole focus will be earning more and more, and
Hmm.
not you will won't get any time to follow your dreams.
Hmm. There are so many people who have lived their entire lives and they have gone, and they have not had the chance to maybe even experience that what is living for themselves. I think it's like maybe down to the past two, or our generation or something like that, where people have started even talking about something like a work life balance, or focusing or putting impact on having hobbies outside work. So even if you think that when our parents might have gone to school or something, like at least we had some exposure. There were sports, there were swimming classes, there were art and dance classes. but I probably did not even have that in their curriculum, right? So I think as the generations are moving ahead, there's a slow movement towards exposing children. But what you're talking about is a radical change from the today's education system. Do you think the children who go through something like this, like maybe an experiment, as you said, and then they diverse into their career fields, what about the fear of them not being recognized with their peers? Like, maybe they'll not be allowed to give the conventional exams because they would not be certified from a certain board, or the parents would not be convinced to adhere to such kind of an education system. So what do you think is like in reality, like how this can actually become true, and the people are able to get something out of it meaningful?
Yes, answering to your first point, fear only comes when we put them into a person's brain. So
Hmm.
the kind of system I am talking about, there won't be any talks about fear. Comes basically from comparison,
Okay.
comparison and rejection, rejection from exams,
Hmm.
comparison with your peers. If there is nothing of that sort in the environment,
Hmm.
the children which will go through that process, fear won't be even present in their minds.
But isn't competition necessary?
No, competition, again, the term competition
Hmm.
compares similar things.
Hmm.
And what is a universal fact is that everything is unique, and
Hmm.
comparing unique things is an act of stupidity, I believe.
Okay. So, but yeah, I'm getting your point. But then again, while you're focusing on not comparing, but there's also this inherent need. I'll just take an example that if you put 10 children in a line and ask them to run a race, I'm sure at least 6 or 7 of them would want to come first. So they'll put extra effort to, go to that extra mile. So if we are going to take out that comparison, or that, thing from this entire equation of a race, and you say that run, just run, so still anyone will come first, right? So don't you think it's also a part of our genes and how we are built as humans, that instinct is there to lead, or to like just do excel in whatever you're doing at that point?
If it comes down to our genes, there is only one thing that works: survival of the fittest. If you see entire evolution history, only
Hmm.
the fittest survive. So that is natural. But to survive, do you need to beat anyone else? Like literally, because society today, what we see is not as dangerous an environment
Hmm.
as you say nature, where things are much more radical.
Yeah.
People, animals eat each other. They
Hmm.
have they have to kill. But in society, we don't have to kill anyone
Hmm.
to exist
Hmm.
or beat anyone. And after beating them, feel proud about it.
Hmm.
Like you mentioned, even if people run someone in a race, someone will come first. Yes, that's obvious. But after coming first, will they feel good or bad? They will only feel good if you have made an image in their mind that coming first is a good thing. You are
Hmm.
the best. You are the best. If you put those things into their minds, then only they will have the drive.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, anything else that you would want to share with us when it comes to education system, or how you would want to, change things in your capacity in the future?
As I mentioned, I will just uh, start the initiative which I have mentioned on a small scale.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
like the children who will be coming in, they will be going to regular schools,
Okay.
and after their school or before their school, they will join these sessions.
Okay.
And gradually, we will just see after 1 2 years
Hmm.
what data we are getting, like how they're
That's
performing. Is it working well or not, or do we need to start at
doing.
full time? Yeah,
Okay, full time. Yeah, because it can't be sudden, because this is a drastic change that you're talking about. It also can't be sudden that you expect that people would be very comfortable in, doing this full time. But like you said, yeah, maybe something after a school, or as something, and then seeing the changes. That if you put young minds in certain control situations and how well they are developing, I think that can be great. So, thank you for joining us today. And this was our first, podcast. We would be doing this weekly, and we will be talking about various topics that will have no range. So you can expect some very random discussions here, but hopefully our intention is to impact one or two people, whoever come across this whenever they do, and maybe like ignite a spark of curiosity, that why are we doing things the way we are, and can we question them and change them. Anything from your side?
Yes, we just don't need to ignite that. It's already there. We just need to clear the crowds.
Yeah, we need to clear that. So yeah, so thank you all for joining us today, and thanks, Nilab. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.